Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Suhei with Suhei Plans, and in today's video I am sharing with you the newest addition to my 2025 planner stack, my Golden Coil custom meal planner. Beside it, I have my A5 Slim Sterling Ink notebook that's here to help me walk you through how I customized this planner and exactly how I designed it, and kind of talk a little bit about why I made some of the decisions and what was the thought process behind building this custom planner. But before we jump in, if you find any of today's conversation helpful, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button below. Okay, so let's jump in. I was so fortunate that Golden Coil reached out to me about wanting to collaborate in exchange for one of their beautiful planners. I have used Golden Coil planners and notebooks in the past. I will link some of those videos below. And I was so excited because this planner is beautiful, so well made, high quality, beautiful paper. I did not hesitate to jump in on their offer. It was just I absolutely love Golden Coil. And I didn't have any Golden Coil items in my lineup this year, so I was super excited when they reached out. I was really I thought about what I wanted to use, make my planner. It took me 20 minutes. There was just such an obvious need in my system. And as soon as they reached out to me with the offer, I knew exactly what I was going to use it for: meal planning. I have found that in my fitness and health journey for 2025, that it is so hard to do all of the things related to health and wellness. Working out, taking supplements, eating right, cooking more at home, eating more whole foods, drinking water, getting enough sleep. It's truly not an easy thing to prioritize your health and well-being. And I felt like I was faltering a bit. I just wasn't being as intentional as I could, especially when it came to my meals. I felt like I was spending more than I needed to, not eating as well as I wanted to. And because I was doing things a little haphazardly, I wasn't finding enough time to do things like work out or hang out with my kids. And I'm not exactly the type of person to spend all day meal prepping to have the same food for 7 days to follow. That's not me. But I could be more intentional about when I'm making meals, what I'm having, what what all my meals are in a day, because I know I can save money, I can save time, and I can just make better choices with my health. And so here we are. Now, because Golden Coil planners are super customizable, I thought it would be a little bit challenging to take you through how I created the planner, but I'm going to do my very best. And please don't hesitate to drop questions below if there was something that I didn't quite explain very well. I am going to be referring to these notes in my Sterling Ink planner because, boy, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Your first option when you're choosing a Golden Coil planner is the cover. I've always loved the beautiful faux leather options, and I chose the color olive. I think online it presents very gray, but it is really a beautiful, soft, minimal olive color in real life. I absolutely love it. And of course, you have that beautiful gold coil, which is clearly in the name. Because this is a meal planner, for my fill page, I decided to add a food-related quote. It says, "Tell me what you eat, and I will tell you what you are." You've heard that before, right? You are what you eat. I just thought that that would be a very motivational and something to kind of hold me accountable as I think about using this planner from 2025 to 2026. This gets automatically added for you, but I added my name, my email, and this quote. All right. So after my fill page, I decided to add 2 blank pages These blank pages are considered plus pages, things that you can add throughout your planner in addition to whatever the layout that you choose. I decided to add these 2 blank pages because sometimes other planners that I've had, if I start the planner right after this fill page, I don't like how the writing looks with the fill page behind it. I don't like sometimes the see-through of it all. So I just added this blank page to help avoid that. I might add like recipes here or just stickers, or who knows. We'll see. We'll see how it unfolds. Or it just might stay blank this year. We'll see. So after that, I chose to add another plus page called the kitchen conversions. This is just a handy little tool to help you kind of figure out how many ounces translates into milliliters, cups into ounces. There's a handy little list here for substitutions. So if you don't have buttermilk, what can you use instead? Just some really handy little go-to things for when I'm in the kitchen. I thought was really cool to add. This is a plus page underneath their food section. And I decided to add this to the start of my planner. One thing I will kind of give you as a piece of advice is that depending on when you selected something to be on the start of your planner is the order that it will appear. So to have this blank page come before the kitchen conversions, I had to select the blank page as a page at the start of my planner first. And then I selected the kitchen conversions to be at the start of my planner second. I've already got some little things in this planner, as you'll see as we flip along. All right, so then I decided that I wanted my planner to start in April 2025 and it ends in April 2026. I wanted a Monday start, which I think is very, very handy. There are options to make this planner longer or to make this planner shorter. You can do 6 months, you can do 8 months, you can do 12 months. I just stuck with that 1 year, very comfortable with that kind of a plan, the duration of that planner, and I wanted a Monday start. And I have this lovely calendar view here. And as you can see, I've already started to add things to it. I also added in the events option, I added US and food holidays. So let's see if I can zoom in a bit there. I added US holidays. You can see Good Friday and we've got Easter. But then I also added the food stuff. Pigs in a Blanket Day, Eggs Benedict Day, Pretzel Day. I just thought that would be really fun and cute and very appropriate for a meal planner. It just gives me like meal planner vibes anywhere I look in my planner. So I really, really loved that option. Some other things you can add are like world holidays or other fun holidays, which I think is really cute. Very customizable, as I mentioned before. All right, so after my monthly spread, and I have these lines with notes on the left-hand side, you'll never be splitting a day. They usually will use the 5 rows per month. There is no grid here, but I think that is okay. All right, so then after that, I've got my notes here. After that, I added another plus page called the fillable list. Essentially, these are just 2 columns, horizontal lines on 2 pages. I wanted to have this list at every month, so I added it monthly, so that I can use these 2 pages for ongoing grocery lists throughout the month. I can see myself using this for each week, but then for some weeks that bleed into the 5-week mark, there's so many lines here, I'm sure it'll be fine if I need to do 5 weeks some months. So I thought that would be really handy to have every month. And this is a little cute sticker from my daughter's Cuties. All right, and then after that, I have added another plus page, and this one is called the monthly meals. This essentially gives you a monthly overview of all of your meals from Monday through Sunday for the 5 weeks of the month for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is just a fun little stamp that I have there. I'm thinking that I want to put like my favorite meal of the month, writing it in that little stamp right there. That's what that stamp looks like. It's pretty cute. And so I really liked having this. My thoughts are that, you know, sometimes I have a plan for what we're going to have in a certain week, but then sometimes those plans don't work out. I want this spread to document what I actually ate each day for all those meals in that month. And this was something, again, that I added monthly. I could have also made this a weekly option, or I could have had one spread at the month of my planner or one spread at the end, but I chose to have this every month. All right, so after that, and let me go to a clean page. All right, just so it's a little less distracting, and then we'll talk about what I've done over there. So my layout, and this is essentially the, you know, what are the bones? What is the overall layout of your planner going to be? There are so many different options. There are daily options, there are weekly options, there are monthly options. I decided to go with the weekly single page option, which means all of your week is on one page. And then there's usually something else that's functional on the other page. So this is the weekly single page option in the boxes 1. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then a notes section on the left-hand side. As you'll see, those lovely food holidays and US holidays continue into the weekly layout. And then on the right-hand side, I just have a giant space for notes, brainstorms, menu planning, lists, absolutely anything I want. I think the only thing that I would change to this layout is, instead of making this lined in this column style, I would wish that this were completely just open grid. That would be my preference, but I can definitely work with this kind of a page. And so you're going to see that I have this layout for all of the weeks in that particular month. So this is April. Okay. And then we go back to our next month, and then we go back to the column pages. I'm sorry, I should call it what it is. The fillable list pages. And then the monthly meals pages, and then we get back into the weekly layout. So I'm planning to use the weekly layout, and I just have a Golden Coil bookmark here. These are really, really handy, and they fit their notebooks beautifully. And I have on the right-hand side, I am using these lists to write down snacks, quick and easy ideas for the week, and then my family's featured meals here. And this is really serving as like a brainstorm, and also kind of like menu options for the week. I like to have this section on quick and easy because things come up, or things happen, or someone gets sick, or, you know, something happened at work, and we might not be able to get that meal that we intentionally wanted to make on the table. So I love having just a couple of quick and easy ideas that I know I already have in the fridge or in the pantry that I can make very quickly if one of these options doesn't work out for the week. Then I like to have my snacks populated here, just to be able to, you know, look at everything that I can snack on, see, and I try to think about my snacks as I meal plan as well. You know, fruits, protein bars, just knowing what's in the fridge that I can grab for when I'm, you know, looking at my week. On the left-hand side where I actually have my week is where I'll write down family events, parties, things going on with the kids, anything to keep in mind. I know that we have a lot of meat in the freezer right now, and I would love to but I would like to use some of it up before we buy any more. So I just wrote a note for myself, use the meat in the freezer this week. That's something like, this is that kind of intention that I really think can help us make some better decisions when I'm really kind of focusing on how we're meal planning and the things that we're eating. And again, I love that the food holidays carry over into the weekly spread. These are just some cute like little food stickers that I found on jet pens that I added to the planner. And so this is kind of where I am brainstorming for the week, figuring out what's in the pantry, then jotting down what my plan is for the week. And then when all is said and done in this monthly meal planner, I will write down what we actually ate. I will probably just use this as my personal meal tracker. I'm watching what I'm eating. I'm trying to lose weight. So I think, and these boxes are not that big to list everything that the four of us in my family eat, especially because I have a very picky son. So I'm really just intending for this to be where I write down what I ate in that particular month. I think that'll be very helpful for me in my weight loss. All right, and so you have all of those weeks going consecutively, as I mentioned. And so. And the planner continues as such with, the monthly spread. The fillable list, the monthly meals, and then all 4 weeks of the month that, to follow. So when you choose to have your plus pages, when you figure out where you want them to be, at the start of the, if you choose monthly, they will start to appear after your 2-page calendar spread for that month. That's what it means by monthly. But you can choose in what order you want your plus pages to be. I wanted fillable lists first, and then monthly meals second. And then after that, you go into whatever your chosen layout is. If you've been noticing at the bottom, there are these tiny little checkbox like phrases here. And this is these are add-ons. You can put literary quotes. You can have pop culture. There's a menu of options. I chose self-care challenges. I just think that the self-care challenges made a lot of sense with a meal planner and something where I'm thinking about making better choices for myself. Let yourself sleep in. I want to do that every day, but yes, absolutely. So I thought that would just work really, really well with the vibes of like healthier living, eating well, meal planning, being more intentional with what we're eating. And so that to me just made perfect sense in this planner. Okay, so I think in showing you the planner so far, I've covered the cover, the fill page, the contacts I decided not to add, when the planner would start and end, what kind of events I wanted to add, my chosen layout, the plus pages, and my add-ons. And this feels pretty straightforward and simple, but I promise you it took a little bit of elbow grease to really figure out what I wanted this planner to look like from start to finish. There are so many options. You can, order it in so many different ways. I could have this thing at the front, this thing at the back, this thing weekly, this thing monthly, and that is a beautiful thing. But do take some time to think through your layout and what you're looking for in this book before you just jump in and check out. I promise you will really thank yourself if you've really thought through what you want to see and what kind of tools you need in your planner. And obviously there were so many layouts, so many plus pages that I did not include in my meal planner, and that's okay. But I do appreciate all the different amazing options in helping me create exactly the planner that I needed. And so that is my meal planner. I hope this was interesting and folks might be inspired. Obviously, you can do this in a notebook. You don't need a fancy planner to do all of this, but boy, is this lovely. And boy, will I be feeling so much more accountable because there's this absolutely gorgeous planner on my desk begging me to live up to my goals for 2025. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop them below. Thank you so much for your time. I will see you guys in the next one.